Well, the Shadow Foreign Minister, Birmingham, says a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas cannot happen until all innocent hostages are returned home. Let's go live to Canberra now. Our political reporter, Olivia Casely, joins me now. Olivia, there was a peaceful protest on the lawns of Parliament House today.
That's right, Laura. So this morning we've seen there's some protesters on the lawns of Parliament House, and they're essentially calling on the Albanese government to do more to try and advocate for the release of those 239 hostages that were captured by Hamas on October 7. This comes, of course, after Foreign Minister Penny Wong's faced some criticism this week after she raised the prospect of a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Her counterpart, Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Birmingham, though, says that is impossible until Hamas is stripped of its ability to launch another terrorist attack.
This was the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians by Hamas, a terrorist organisation, at a scale that saw the biggest loss of Jewish lives on a single day since the Holocaust.
They are afraid to show the symbols of their faith as they walk the streets of our cities. And they didn't feel like this before this event on October the 7th.
I spoke to one of this protest organisers early, and she also wants the government to do more to ensure that Australia's Jewish community feels safe in the face of rising anti-Semitism.
I won't wear my Magen David necklace out because I'm too scared. Behind every name, there's a person, there is a story. And we want the government in Australia to try to put pressure to bring them back home, which is our main message.
As the issue dominates parliamentary debate here in Australia, overseas the European Union has condemned Hamas for what they describe as the use of hospitals and civilians as human shields. Laura?
Olivia, thank you. The Foreign Minister Penny Wong says she stands by her comments about a Gaza ceasefire. This is despite a growing pushback from pro-Israeli groups. On Sunday, Minister Wong said steps needed to be taken towards a ceasefire, acknowledging, though, that any pause must not be one-sided.
We need steps towards a ceasefire because we know that Hamas, it cannot be one-sided. We know that Hamas is still holding hostages. And we know that a ceasefire must be agreed between the parties. This has to end.
Her comments stand in contrast to those of the EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs. In a statement online, Josep Borrell says, "We call on Hamas to immediately and unconditionally release all hostages. We condemn the use of hospitals and civilians as human shields by Hamas. Civilians must be allowed to leave the combat zone. Hostilities are severely impacting hospitals and taking a horrific toll on civilians." Mr Borrell is calling on Israel to exercise restraint and ensure the protection of civilians, and says humanitarian corridors must urgently be established to allow aid to reach Gaza.